Good morning, children. Welcome back. Today we are going to start with a new chapter for history, that is, conflict with the Mughals. In this chapter, we are going to study about the war tactics that Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj had used to fight against the Mughals. Even we are going to analyze and describe the decision making ability and courage of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj in the times of difficulty. So, let's see what all points we're going to see in this chapter. So, today we are going to see Shahisti Khan's invasion, Jai Singh's invasion, the Surat campaign, and Agra visit, and how Shivaji Maharaj escaped from Agra and saved his life. Let's begin with the introduction. We have seen up till now that how Shivaji Maharaj had a great fight against Adil Shahi's kingdom, and how Shivaji Maharaj had captured the forts that were under the control of Adil Shahi and brought them under his power. But this struggle continued of expanding the Swaraj. Shivaji Maharaj had to face many enemies in his life for just the establishment of Swaraj. He had to fight against Mughals also. The battle continued for a long time. The Mughals posed a great threat to the Swaraj even as it began to expand. So, it was a great threat for Swaraj. Mughals did not want it that Swaraj should spread in different regions of India or Maharashtra, and people even ever think of self-independency. So the struggle continued for the establishment and for not establishing these Maratha powers. Shivaji Maharaj tried to overcome this threat given by Mughals. He tried to regain all his forts and territories that were under the Mughal control and tried to get it back as soon as possible. He himself even get crowned and coronation ceremony took place. He took up the campaign in the south and tried to capture all the regions that were under the control of Mughals in the south. So these all things we are going to study in this chapter. Shahisti Khan left from Ahmednagar and entered the Pune province in the year 1660 in February. He tried to capture all the territories that were under the control of Shivaji Maharaj. Along with his small units of his army, he had spread them in these neighboring areas to capture them. So, Shahisti Khan started capturing all the regions that were under the control of Shivaji Maharaj and where the dream of Swaraj was put forth. As Shivaji Maharaj had already left to south and tried to capture the regions that were under the control of Mughals, he encamped at Chakan. Who had encamped at Chakan? Shahisti Khan. And Firozi Narsala, the Killedar of the fort of Chakan, offered a strong resistance to Shahisti Khan's army. That is, Shahisti Khan decided to capture the forts that were under the control of Shivaji Maharaj. Among them, one of the fort was Chakan, that is in Pune. At that time, Firozi Narsala was looking after the administrative work and every control was there in his hand. Finally, he gave a strong resistance against Shahisti Khan's army. But he could not withstand in front of his army. Ultimately got defeated and finally the Mughals captured the fort of Chakan. Shahisti Khan along with his army members had set up the camps in Pune at Lal Mahal, that was the childhood place of Shivaji Maharaj. And he had seen that when Shivaji Maharaj was not there, tried to capture the regions that were under the control of Shivaji Maharaj. Now Shahisti Khan had sent his forces to the neighboring regions around Pune and tried to capture all the wealth that was there with the people. Along with the wealth, even he started collecting taxes. He forcefully told the people to pay the taxes, and if they were not doing so, they were being harassed by Shahisti Khan's army members. 2 years passed away, but Shahisti Khan did not think of leaving Pune. Naturally, all the people were getting fed up from him, and that was a tense situation for the people in Pune. and this resulted in the adverse condition of Pune province. This could not be tolerated by Shivaji Maharaj, and ultimately Shivaji Maharaj took a decision to teach a lesson to Shahid Khan. So he prepared a bold plan where he would teach a lesson to Shahid Khan and his army members. Shivaji Maharaj decided to teach a lesson to Shahid Khan. So along with his Maratha Sardars, Shivaji Maharaj did a raid on Lal Mahal secretly during the night time. And that day was 5th April 1663. Maharaj, along with his Maratha Sardars, band of these Maratha soldiers, had raided at Lal Mahal during night time. And in this raid of Shivaji Maharaj, Shahid Khan, to save his life, he was running. And when he tried to jump, Shahid Khan got his fingers cut. Because Shivaji Maharaj had tried to kill him because of displeasures that had been treated or were given by the Shahid Khan to the people. He suffered a great humiliation and ultimately his fingers were cut down and he left Pune. Shahid Khan shifted his camp to Aurangabad as he was a Sardar in Ahmednagar, but this was not been tolerated. His defeated behavior was not been tolerated by Aurangzeb, and this in return resulted him to shift his camp to Aurangabad. Aurangzeb decided to transfer Shahid Khan to the province of Bengal. The successful attack on Shahid Khan had an impact on the people, and their faith in the capability of Maharaj was strengthened even further. People started trusting Shivaji Maharaj, and they thought that yes, the dream of Swaraj would definitely will be fulfilled by Shivaji Maharaj, and they would get freedom from the harassment of the Mughals or the Adil Shahis. So, with this successful of defeating Shahid Khan and teaching him a lesson had resulted a trustworthy note among the people. Shahid Khan then got defeated from Shivaji Maharaj and cut down his 3 fingers in this attack. He did not keep quiet. He wanted to take revenge from Shivaji Maharaj. So, in return, he started capturing the territories that were under the control of Maratha Sardars. And even he tried to capture the regions that were with the dream of establishing Swaraj. He thought that he would teach a big lesson to Shivaji Maharaj by capturing his territories and the regions that were under the control of Marathas. So Shivaji Maharaj in return decided to teach the lesson to the Mughals. So he went to Surat. At that time, Surat was a great trading center and lots of factories were set up by British, by Dutch and even the French. So, along with his associates, Shivaji Maharaj and his associates together went to Surat, and accordingly they had planned out the activities to capture the territories and the trading centers and collect all the wealth and revenue and bring under the Maratha powers. As Surat was a big trading center, so lots of wealth was collected and it was being generated to the emperor's court. Surat was a very big city as well as rich in trading. At that time, Maharaj decided to have a campaign on Surat. Accordingly, along with his associates, he went to Surat. At that time, Inayat Khan was a Subedar of Surat and he was looking after the trading centers. But he could not withstand in front of Shivaji Maharaj's army and associates. So, in return, Maharaj obtained plenty of wealth from Surat without bothering the common people. His campaign of Surat was a great success, and in return, it was a stunning blow to the Emperor Aurangzeb's prestige. Aurangzeb got hurt by this, and ultimately, he decided that he would teach lesson to Shivaji Maharaj. Next is Jai Singh's invasion. With a view to curb Shivaji Maharaj all the activities that were increasing for the establishment of Swaraj, now Aurangzeb decided that he would send Mirza Raja Jai Singh, an experienced and powerful Rajput Sardar. Jai Singh came to Pune, had a talk with Shivaji Maharaj. He started rallying all the forces against Shivaji Maharaj. As per the orders given by Aurangzeb, Jai Singh decided that he would raid on Shivaji Maharaj. So, not alone, But along with him, many more were involved in this activity of defeating Shivaji Maharaj. So, Mirza Raja Jai Singh had collected Sardars, that is, from the Portuguese of Goa and Vasai, the Dutch of Vengurla, the British of Surat, and the Siddhis of Janjira. These all would have a campaign against Shivaji Maharaj. Jai Singh drew up a plan of capturing the forts in the possession of Maharaj. So, along with the Mughal forces, was sent to defeat Shivaji Maharaj and capture the parts that were under the control of Shivaji Maharaj. Even the regions that were being used or that were being formed to establish Swaraj. So they ravaged the territories of Swaraj and Maharaj endeavored to resist. Slowly and gradually, Mirza Raja Jai Singh had a plan and he got succeeded in all the activities of capturing the forts and bringing them under his control. That is the Mughals' control. Shivaji Maharaj had tried hard to withstand in front of the Mughals, but ultimately he could not resist the power of Mughals, as there was a huge army force who was against Shivaji Maharaj and establishing Swaraj. So Mirza Raja Jai Singh and Diler Khan decided to capture the fort of Purandra and the surrounding areas that were under the control of Marathas. So when the Mughals put the fort of Purandra under their control, Murarbaji Deshpande was looking after the fort. He had a great fight with the Mughals, and his courage and confidence could not withstand in front of Mughals, and ultimately he died a hero's death. He had sacrificed his life for the establishment of Swaraj. Considering this, the seriousness of the situation, so Shivaji Maharaj decided to have a talk with Mirza Raja Jai Singh and to stop this, because Shivaji Maharaj did not want it that his army members or the Maratha Sardars would unnecessarily die in this battle. So Shivaji Maharaj and Mirza Raja Jai Singh had signed a treaty. Mirza Raja Jai Singh went personally to meet to Shivaji Maharaj. A treaty was signed between Mirza Raja Jai Singh and Shivaji Maharaj, and this treaty was signed in the month of June in the year 1665. It is known as the Treaty of Purandra. As we all know that Mirza Raja Jai Singh along with Diler Khan had captured the fort of Purandra. So Shivaji Maharaj wanted his fort back. Because of that, previously treaties were signed where they would have an agreement between the things. So in accordance with the terms of the treaty, Maharaj gave to the Mughals 23 of his forts and the adjoining territories that were near these forts, the surrounding areas of the forts, yielding an annual revenue of 4 lakh horns. That is, every year they will get 4 lakh horns. Shivaji Maharaj even assured the Mughals that he would help them against Adil Shahi's power. And this treaty of Purandra was ratified by Aurangzeb, was sanctioned by Aurangzeb, as Mirza Raja Jai Singh was working for Aurangzeb. Ultimately, they decided in the treaty, and accordingly this treaty was signed between Shivaji Maharaj and Mirza Raja Jai Singh. Moving on to the next part is Shivaji Maharaj's visit to Agra and how he had escaped from Agra to save his life. As we all know now, only we have seen that how a treaty was signed between Shivaji Maharaj and Mirza Raja Jai Singh, that is Treaty of Purandra. So after signing this treaty, Jai Singh thought that he would raise a campaign against Adil Shahi, and Shivaji Maharaj had helped Jai Singh in this campaign. But ultimately, Jai Singh could not succeed in this campaign. So, Jai Singh, Mirza Raja Jai Singh and Aurangzeb thought that they would keep Shivaji Maharaj for some time away from this campaign and from the Deccan politics. So, Mirza Raja Jai Singh had put a proposal in front of Shivaji Maharaj that Shivaji Maharaj should visit to Agra and meet Emperor Aurangzeb. Mirza Raja Jai Singh guaranteed the safety to Shivaji Maharaj, and by seeing this assurance, Shivaji Maharaj decided that he would go to Agra and visit Emperor Aurangzeb. Along with his associates and companions, Shivaji Maharaj and Prince Sambhaji, all the trusted followers, were ready to put their lives in risk and help Shivaji Maharaj and provide him with the security. So, along with his associates and Prince Sambhaji, Shivaji Maharaj decided to move to Agra to visit Emperor Aurangzeb. Shivaji Maharaj, along with his associates, reached Agra. And the day when he reached Agra, that was Emperor Aurangzeb's 50th birthday. The court was filled with all the Mughal Sardars. And on the same time, when Shivaji Maharaj reached to the court, he was not being treated properly. He was left behind to sit. He was not being honored and respectfully invited. By seeing this, Shivaji Maharaj decided to leave the court. As Shivaji Maharaj decided to leave the court and went back, all the Marathas were along with him. And the Mughal Sardars had tried to catch him and put him into the house arrest. Undeterred by this action of the emperor, that is, Shivaji Maharaj not have even thought that Emperor Aurangzeb would invite him and would treat him in this way. So, what he was done, he was been put in the house arrest. And by seeing this action, Shivaji Maharaj decided to have a plan to escape from Agra, from this house arrest. So, what he did, he cleverly and skillfully planned out certain things and tried to escape from Agra and reached Maharashtra safely after few days. How he decided, we all are aware about this story. You might have studied in your previous classes that he had planned out that he is not well, and when the Pandits and Brahmins were coming to treat him, they said that yes, even he is not well, and the Maratha soldiers who were there along with him, they decided to distribute baskets of sweets and fruits to the needy ones who would bless Shivaji Maharaj, and Shivaji Maharaj will get cure fast. So when these baskets were coming to the house arrest place, so in that basket only Shivaji Maharaj had sat down and left from Agra and reached to Maharashtra safely. When Shivaji Maharaj left Agra, he decided that he would reach Maharashtra. As per the planning, Shivaji Maharaj thought that he would go to Rajgarh. While escaping from Agra, Shivaji Maharaj thought that he would leave Prince Sambhaji at Mathura. Till he reached to Rajgarh, Prince Sambhaji would left at Mathura, and afterwards he would brought back to Rajgarh. So as per the planning, Shivaji Maharaj left Prince Sambhaji at Mathura and moved ahead to Rajgarh. Once when Prince Sambhaji was left at Mathura and Shivaji Maharaj had reached Rajgarh, Prince Sambhaji was brought back to Rajgarh. In the absence of Shivaji Maharaj, Veer Mata Jijabai and his associates were looking after the work of Swaraj and even the administrative work related to Swaraj. It means that the dream that was put forth by Shahaji Raje was being continued by Shivaji Maharaj and all his associates. That was not a dream of an individual person, but it was a dream of a team to bring back self-independency in regions where people were being harassed by Mughals, by Britishers, by Portuguese and by Dutch. So, this dream continued in the mind and heart of so many people and the great Maratha warriors who had sacrificed their life for the establishment of Maratha power and even the dream of establishing Swaraj. So we salute to their courage and confidence. We'll be continuing the next part of the lesson in the next video. Thank you children for watching the video. Take care. Bye-bye. Have a good day.